name is Victoria.
My name is Carla.
And I am Louis.
We're going to explore a topic that many of us in the United States take for granted every day, even though life would not be able to exist without it.
Yes, a little bit of oxygen and 2 bits of hydrogen, 2 of the most basic elements in the universe combine to form this magical substance that we call water.
True, it's magical because without water, life would not exist. It is necessary for all humans and economic developments. Yet today, nearly 1 billion people lack access to clean water, and more than 2.5 billion people do not have access to proper sanitation.
Today, our roving reporters are on location, ready to fill us in on this important topic. We are going to start with Just Paul, who is going to start off by explaining the water cycle to us. Just Paul?
Thank you, Victoria. It's hard to imagine we have places on Earth such as the Sahara Desert that gets less than 3 inches of rainfall a year. And that we also have places such as the Amazon rainforest that gets over 9 feet of rainfall a year. In order to understand the geography behind the unequal distribution of water, we need to understand the water cycle.
The water cycle starts when water turns into gas and is absorbed by the clouds.
Transpiration is when plants sweat and the sweat evaporates to the clouds.
Precipitation is when water returns to the earth through dew, mist, fog, rain, hail, and snow.
Runoff is when the snow melts from the mountains and runs down streams or rivers.
Groundwater is water that seeps into and is stored in the ground from snow, sleet, and rain.
When water vapor cools and changes into a gas, that is called condensation.
The Earth has always had the same amount of water. This limited amount of water keeps going around and round in what we call the water cycle.
There are places on Earth that simply do not get enough rain from the water cycle.
Some areas in the world get plenty of rainfall, but still they do not have access to safe drinking water.
That is because they do not have a system to store or distribute their water.
Wow, it is so interesting to think that the same amount of water that started on our planet is still here. It just keeps getting recycled.
You mean this glass of water that I'm drinking right now may have been used from the ancient Egyptians?
Could be, who knows? But now that we're understanding a little bit about the water cycle, let's go to Cassandra, who's going to show us how water is distributed on the planet.
Yes, Victoria, you can see here looking at this map of the world which areas are most affected by water scarcity. These places in orange are directly affected by the water cycle. They simply do not get enough rainfall. But the areas in yellow actually have enough water provided by nature, but they do not have the government or financial resources to get access to the water. Either way, you can see that there simply is not enough water to meet the needs of the people, and is greatly affecting their quality of life.
More than 1 billion people worldwide are affected by the water scarcity.
People are desperate for water.
Women sometimes have to walk up to 6 hours to collect water they need for cooking, drinking, and bathing.
Sometimes when there's no water, people are forced to drink polluted groundwater.
Kids have to drink out of tubs because the schools don't have fountains.
Lack of water affects communities around the world. Kids don't go to school because they get sick from water-related illness.
443 million school days are lost each year due to water-related illnesses.
Over 2.5 billion people do not have access to proper sanitation. This can lead to many diseases.
Access to clean water should be a human right for every woman, man, and child.
As you can see, some countries don't have access to as much water as we do.
Humans need water to survive. In extreme cases, people can get dehydrated and eventually die.
There are organizations such as water.org that are committed to providing drinking water and sanitation to people in developing countries.
The world needs to recognize that this is a serious problem. Without access to clean water, communities cannot prosper. Other serious problems will not be solved until we win this battle for safe drinking water and sanitation.
It is sad to think that billions of people worldwide do not have access to our most valuable resource. But what most of us don't realize is that right here in California, we are also facing a sort of water crisis. Is this the case?
That is so true. When you think of California, you think of a water-abundant landscape. Here, the water flows down from Sierra Nevada mountains and Yosemite Park. People come here from all over the world to enjoy our beautiful beaches, all known for our lush, fertile farmland. But that is not the whole picture here in California. Much of California is dry and arid. On average, California receives 15 inches of rainfall. That is the same as Morocco.
California has unequal distribution of water. 2/3 of the rain falls in the northern part of the state, while 2/3 of the population lives in the southern part of the state. In order to prosper, California had to move its water from the north to the south through a system of dams and canals. And now, believe it or not, California has the 8th largest economy in the world, and water is very important to that economy. Our agricultural products are exported throughout the world, and water is needed to grow almonds, our #1 export. The fruits and vegetables grown here are important to the people in the U.S., and they are exported all over the world. And without water, California would not be one of the top dairy producers in the world. A great deal of our waters goes to agriculture. It is important for the food we eat, and it is important for our economy. But we currently have a population of 40 million people, and it is growing by about 500,000 people each year. This growing population is putting even more demand on our water supply.